Hello everyone, welcome to Shorthand Battle. I am Divya and I am going to dictate you a general passage of 840 words at the speed of 120 words per minute. So be ready for the dictation. 3, 2, 1 and go. Mr. Vice Chairman Sir, India's foreign policy has been tried and tested. Many honorable members who have preceded me and particularly from the opposition have not discouraged the government from entering into this agreement. All the time they tried to impress upon the government and the treasury benches that India should be very careful in dealing with the USSR. At the same time, India should not lose the friendship of the United States of America and also try to negotiate peace with China. Nobody has said that this agreement is detrimental to the interests of India. India's foreign policy has been tried and tested right from the beginning when the foreign policy of this country was designed and we were members of the Commonwealth. Well, many of our friends at that time wanted that we should not be members of the Commonwealth. When we were members of the Commonwealth, some of those who were interested in the Commonwealth did not like us to have any kind of association or negotiation with countries other than the British Commonwealth countries. Ever since then we have passed through various periods and many times have been under very crisis. Even at that time the government of India and the people of India had the opportunity to find out who are their friends in the world. There is no occasion when the government's foreign policy tried to be short-sighted, tried to adjust in order to get some benefits. Many of our friends said here that we have been unnecessarily supporting the UAR and other countries while we could have easily got lot of assistance had we supported Israel. That is definitely not the foreign policy of this great country. This great country's foreign policy is based on its internal policies. What are its internal policies? Its internal policies are to fight against exploitation. It does not like to encourage monopolies in this country. Similarly, when you go into the international sphere, there is no occasion when the Indian leaders either before independence or after independence tried to support any nation, however big and mighty it might be, when it tried to exercise its control over other countries, when it tried to dominate over other countries, when it wanted to enslave other countries and spread their sphere of colonialism. Many times we have incurred the displeasure of big powers, yet we did not give up our stand. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's foreign policy is not just a brainwave of certain leaders of his times. If we could go well beyond, Swami Vivekananda and other great leaders have preached to the whole world that India never thinks that any country in the world should be inimical to India. That is our philosophy, and our foreign policy is also based on that philosophy, and I do not think this philosophy can ever be defeated and ever be misunderstood or be a failure in international policies. Sir, I would like to give only small examples of the defense preparedness of this country after independence. The tendency in the defense services in this country was to go for British goods alone, nothing to criticize because they had been under the British master. Most of the troops in this country, including the big generals, important leaders, statesmen never thought of anything except British. Even if it were an ordinary belt, they would be like to have it imported from UK. Even in the matter of conventional weapons which are now used by our police force, there was no guarantee from any country that we would get all that we required from that country. Sir, just after the Chinese aggression, we have exposed to many countries. We have given up our shopping list to the countries which promised to help us. Many of our generals and statesmen have been insulted, yet we have no strategy to save ourselves. Most of the leaders sitting here know probably some of our friends in the opposition have forgotten the type of pressure that was brought on the government of India to suffer and sacrifice some of their precious lands in order to win the favor from Pakistan. Those were the days when the great leaders of this country proved that they were people with nerves of steel. That was the occasion when anybody could have forced this country to follow a particular policy in foreign affairs. But we did not submit to that. For that, the opposition will have to give credit to this government. Our foreign policy was intact even at that time. Sir, it is an easy thing for one country to get whatever it wants from any other country. There are reports of the Public Accounts Committee that the Defense Ministry was not able to spend the money which had been earmarked for our defense preparedness. Many crores of rupees were left unutilized because countries were not prepared to give us what we wanted. Sir, self-reliance or self-dependence is a very important thing. Stop.